Oh, your wall is so pretty.
Yeah, it came out nice. Kelly picked out that pattern. I was going to get one that was more like to match.
Showers, but it doesn't work as good
Right.
as the bigger. Oh, the sun's coming out. Hi, Grizzy. Oh, poor boy.
He said, I took a long walk. I'm tired.
Well, hi, everybody. She's back. And boy, did I have a nice vacation. I'm so blessed. And I want to thank everybody that's watching out there. And just God bless you all for sending me in some questions. I had a list and I wrote about 12 of them, 13 of them down. I'm going to try to answer tonight or see if we can. Uh, Really dismaying day. We've been waiting for this and pretty sure that's what this, I think today's the 22nd. I don't even know what day it is, but everybody's been talking about the 22nd, and that was probably just because that energy was going around the world, that's when Putin was going to start his shenanigans. But anyway, let's not talk about that tonight. Um, anyway, I want to thank everybody that's been following me for the 3 or 4 years I've been doing this, and thank you for your donations. Thank you for your questions, and God bless you all for having me read for you because I really love doing that. I think I have more fun doing that than anything I've ever done in my life, and it's just so much fun when that energy starts coming through. So I wanted to thank you for that, and oh man, I got me some new glasses. They came in before I went to Florida, and I could actually see Florida. If I'd not got them, it would have been like Mr. Magoo. I was so amazed. I was running all over my house, re-cleaning my stove and re-cleaning up behind my sink, and when my youngest daughter came to visit me about 6 months ago, she says, "Mom, you just can't see anything. Can't you see that like a little bit of grease I had up on the hood of my stove, or can't you see that, or did you just give up?" And I said, "What?" I couldn't even see it. But now it's just wonderful. But I sure created myself a job. I don't know, when I got back Wednesday night late, and I was, before I even put my suitcase away, since I had those new glasses and I hadn't had a chance to look at anything with them before I got them. I got them the day before I left. I just went in and cleaned in the kitchen for an hour and a half or so. And after getting up at 4:30 Florida time, and here I am in California, because we went with my daughter that we went to visit over to my granddaughter's house because she had to babysit that day. It wasn't that far, but we still had to get up and throw our suitcases together and go over to Kristen's house. But at the same time, her house was real close to the airport, and we went to the airport in the early afternoon, and we got into San Diego, I guess, about 10:30 at night. But we stopped in Dallas for a couple hours. Anyway, I never seen so many people at the airport in all the times I've traveled, and it wasn't just because I haven't traveled for a long time. My daughter traveled all the way through this because she, unless it was horrible lockdown, she's been back and forth to Boston several times because she's her only grandson and a brand new one on the way any day is in Boston from California. So she even said, she said, Mom, I have never seen the airport this busy. Even the one in, well, in that place in Florida. My daughter lives in Cape Coral, but there's a little town right next to it, the one that was there before Cape Coral was even developed, and that's where most people retire to, and I can't think of the name of it. But it's by Naples and everything. It's right there in the middle. But the pictures that I haven't put them up yet, but I'm going to put up a few pictures on the front of this video, and that's what it is. That's my daughter in Florida. That's her house and her, what else have I got? And some of the things we did. If I got pictures of it, I'm going to put them on there. I'm not sure what I've got on there, but anyway, I'm going to try to get them on there. But I just want to thank all you guys. It's so funny because usually when I do a reading and I say I'm going to come back because there'll be a couple things on my mind, and then if I don't do it, I can't think of anything. And then you guys sent me such wonderful questions, and I wanted to answer these questions so bad that even while I was there, a couple of times, I got my computer out and would start messing with it because I was wanting to write these questions down and see if I could even do a video while I was there, but we were just too busy. My youngest daughter had stuff planned totally, and the whole time we were there, things to do, and I just says, oh, I'm too tired and too old, I'm not going to go do it, but I was also too much like a little kid. I wasn't about to miss it, so I went, and we seen a lot of wonderful things. And what surprised me the most, because you hear all these nightmare stories about Florida, and the first day when we got picked up at the airport, it wasn't dark yet. It was late in the afternoon, but it wasn't dark yet, and we, I think it was the second freeway overpass when we left there, going back over toward Cape Coral. You could see where they had the swastikas. I can't never. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Up across on the over ramp, and where they hadn't just put flags over, they'd literally painted them. And then about 2 days later, we drove down that same road, and I noticed they'd painted some of them out. And then the third time we went over, I mean, we went back and forth all over that area. I didn't look for them, but outside of that, I didn't see I did see one other thing. It was like a Trump flag that they had a big deal putting in that was hooked to the American flag that was going up over a gun range, and that's kind of scary because it's time for him to be gone. And I told you he was going to be gone, and he is going to be gone before this next election. It doesn't mean his idealism or whatever idealism, I don't know what you'd call it, his funky outlook on life and how it should be, the rich against the poor, is going to be gone. But there'll probably be somebody worse than him coming there that's a straight fascist. I hope he's not a whole hell of a lot smarter than him. If he does get into power, we're really screwed. But anyway, I'm not going to worry about that kind of crap tonight. But I am going to say I was so surprised about the energy in Florida. It was good. But at the same time, my daughter's only lived there for 2 years, and I guess maybe because of the COVID and stuff, she said she never saw that many people. I mean, there's so much traffic. It's like, but she said, I didn't realize it was going to be like this in the winter, because last winter was the first winter they spent there. But anyway, I think the reason that's why the energy felt good, I think it was energy from all over, probably Eastern America, and probably some of Southern, whatever. But you know how everybody in Wisconsin to New York and everywhere else goes to Florida in the wintertime there. Half of them have houses there, so it could have been that mixture of the people's energy there, because I was not expecting it. I was expecting from just, all the things you hear and everything else. I was expecting the energy not to feel good, but the energy felt beautiful, and it was a wonderful. Anyway, I know you're not going to want to sit here and listen to me talk about Florida all night. I might cut some of this out, but I had some really good questions, and I want to get into them because there's a lot of them, and I'll try my new glasses if I can see out of them. Yeah, that's better. I can actually see the camera. Uh, I wrote some things I was going to talk about, but I probably already talked about it. Uh, I think I rewrote those, wrote them down, and then rewrote them. I don't need that. I just got this one piece here. So this is from Karen Hill, and she asked a question. It was so weird because I had just thought about this about 2 hours earlier before I started reading the email, the comments, and this was in my comments from my YouTube channel. And this is from Karen Hill, and I had just been thinking the same thing, and I thought, isn't that strange? But she says, does John Roberts regret getting the voting rights, messing up the voting rights in 2013 like they did when they changed them, when the Supreme Court changed them? Okay, everybody that watches me is up on government enough to know who John Roberts is, but he's the guy in charge of the Supreme Court or whatever. There's no such thing as somebody being in charge, but he's the big guns on the Supreme Court. And I was just thinking the same thing, because even though he's pretty Republican, he's not. I've never thought he was a fascist, but he obviously is. I remember when he said his dissent, he wrote on that. He said that that people weren't prejudiced anymore, and if he thought that was true, then he's living in a bubble, definitely in a total bubble. But anyway, I'm going to draw some cards on that, and what she wanted to know is, does he regret putting that through, because it was his vote. He could have went either way. And so do you regret that, John Roberts? Because I was even thinking that. I was just feeling that energy about the same time that question came through, and it was so weird because he could regret it, because maybe that's the energy he's putting out. Who knows? I don't think he regrets too much. He's as fat as an old cat on all the money he's made and all the deals he's made, and I hope they find some of that money that's gone into the Supreme Court. I hope White House gets his way and gets some of this stuff to the surface. That would be nice. Anyway, it seems like that light is awful bright in my eyes. I don't know if I should turn it down or not, but it seems like it's awful bright. So, John Roberts, what's going on with you? Do you regret? Well, since it's just one question, we don't want to do an in-depth deal on you, because I don't want to waste my time on you. I'm pretty upset with you. But let's see. I just want to thank you guys so much. I don't know what my life would be so boring without you. So, I rededicated a lot of things, and one thing is I'm going to at least do 2 videos a week. If I get the questions, if I get some, some input on something, if people want to know things. So anything that you want to know, want me to answer with the cards, just let me know, and on your comments. And if anybody wants a personal reading, and I've even got all my emails cleaned out where I can't miss it if you write me. I mean, I cleaned my all amount. To Lynn Tarot Readings at gmail.com and put your phone number in there and ask for a reading. Lynn Tarot Readings at gmail.com. So let's see what's going on. This is just going to be a quick one. So I'm only going to do 4 across, but I just wanted to get his energy on here since that question was on my mind when I read it, actually. I mean, hadn't even been that many minutes from the time I was wondering the same thing and that question popped up. So let's see. And Karen Hill wrote that question in. Well, you got the right person. We got the judgment card. God, that light is bright. I'm going to turn it down a notch, and then I usually get mad at myself for turning it down, but it just is so bright in my eyes, it just drives me crazy. So we got the judgment card as the past. The present, there's still money being paid to the Supreme Court. I don't even think it's... I had the strangest feeling when I picked this card up. I know it's money. I know it's money coming in, but since it's the page, it's almost like money for small favors. This isn't on something really big. Maybe this is just to keep voting the way they were supposed to vote when they were put in there, the ones that were just put in. But there has been money flowing. And it's still flowing in the present. That's the present. The challenge is, will the courts come down on this? Will they really investigate it? But it looks like somebody's investigating. Somebody way high in the law, maybe in the Justice Department. This is definitely somebody in charge that's looking into this, up higher than they are. And if they start looking into it, they're going to find so much money, so much payoffs to some of those people that's been in the Supreme Court for years. Look at this. So that still doesn't say if he regrets it. He's got a thing going. I almost feel like it's got his hands tied, like it's something that started small, like anything. And then maybe it was just a favor for a favor. The first couple of times there wasn't even any money involved. Maybe it was property, or who knows. They got so much money running around between those people. But let's see if we can get a yes or a no. Because the answer was, what I was wondering is not if there is money. I knew there was money. And that's so funny because we got judgment in the past, money flowing in, the law or somebody high up on the echelon looking into it, and when they do, they're going to find all kinds of money. So he'll probably regret it then. That's for sure. But let's see if we can get a yes or no on him regretting it already. God, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If I didn't have this to do, I'd just be going crazy. I was going to go to the gym tonight before it closes, but I don't know I'm going to get through with this in time. If I do, I'm going straight down to the gym and using a few pieces of equipment to make my legs stronger. I got to get my legs stronger. So, does he regret it? I think he's retiring early. So maybe when they start doing this research, he's told he needs to make a decision to retire or either really get in a lot of trouble. I have a feeling that's what it's going to come down to. I think he might use health reasons as what's going on before they find out all the money and he gets all tore up in that. I think he's definitely, and all the secrets coming out. Yeah, he's definitely thinking it would be a good place for him to get out of. He's thinking it's a good place to get out of right now. So I have a feeling that he is regretting it for ever going down that road to start with. Boy, is that light bright over there. But at the same time, I feel like he's really regretting it. But I also feel that what he's regretting most is that he's afraid he's going to get caught. But he does realize how stupid he was if he really thought that America was through with all of its prejudice. And there's no way he thought that. He's not a stupid man. Even me, who would love to believe that and wake up every day thinking that would be the most wonderful thing in the world, knew better than that. And if a silly old Okie, California Okie, I was born in California, Kenry knew that, I'm sure that any educated man, if he knew what he at all, knew that. I mean, not because he's a man, but you know what I mean. There was a lot of money. He's very highly educated, and I'm not. But anyway, that doesn't mean that he's got any freaking common sense, but he must have some, or he wouldn't have got to where he is and been there all these years. But he's just not attached to the rest of the world is what it is. So let me mark these out, and then I don't have to keep going back and reading them every time. And the second question I got was from a Nancy Catanina, and she's from Florida, and she wrote in and said there was an only high elected official in her county that was in charge of some big school where that was all pay to play, whatever, to go to. Only rich kids were going to. But on just the regular schools, in her county at least, they were trying to pass a law where if a child didn't want to eat meat at school, like was a vegetarian and ordered a vegetarian meal, that it would be against the law and the people in the cafeteria would be in trouble. And with the, you know what I mean, there'd be some, maybe lose their jobs, I don't know what it was going to be, if they fed any children a vegetarian meal without written permission from their home. So I mean, this is just, talk about cancel culture. There's nobody anymore into cancel culture than the Republicans, and that's why I don't watch Bill Maher anymore. I used to pay for HBO just to watch Bill Maher all the way through and get a better picture than on the internet and stuff. And I have no desire to watch it anymore because he's so full of himself and got his head so far up his own ass that he can't even, he doesn't even know what's going on. You know, he's got that elitist separation. He doesn't even realize how hard people are fighting out on the streets. So anyway, and this is for YouTube, for fun and entertainment only. I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just saying that it used to be, I always used to think I could have been one of his writers, and I could have. I could have written some good jokes for him over the years, political jokes, because I was always following politics, and that's why I liked his shows so much. But the last 5 or 6 years, it's just gone downhill one after the other. I sometimes I thought, well, you can't stand to sit here and watch him anymore. You can at least listen to him when you're out walking, because I listen to podcasts, and sometimes I run out of new ones, and I even have trouble doing that because he's either picking on Muslims or anyway. He's not quite as bad as Jimmy Dore, but he's trying to get there anyway. Just people proclaiming to be lefties that are pushing right-wing politics. Anyway, so the next one wanted to know, this Nancy Clatterhorn, she wanted to know if they were actually going to pass that. So I'll just draw some real quick cards. Just 3 cards to see. Well, they're thinking they shouldn't pass it because it's cheaper just to feed them a bunch of processed food. Just treat the poor like the poor. But that way they're not showing enough authority. That's what it is. They're just wanting to frick with things. Just wanting to get in there and throw their balance away. And whoever's behind this is trying to buddy up to, I don't know, I hate to call them Trumpian politics, but up that, stick their head up the ass of the people pushing this kind of stuff. So that's what's going on there. So they're trying to do it. Whether they get it done or not, no, it looks like they won't. They won't be able to push it that far. It looks like it's going away. So then the next one, this is so fun having other people come up with questions, is from Michael Woods. Michael Woods. And he wants to know about Madison Clatterhorn. Madison Clatterhorn, and will he be blocked from re-election because he's mixed up in that January 6th thing? So this is on Madison Clatterhorn. Questions being asked by Michael Woods. So let's see what's going on here, Michael. Let's see if we can come up with something. Will he be blocked? I might as well I'm going to pull a whole deal on him, so I can go into one of my stories. I like it sometimes when I pull more, I start getting more energy coming through. When I was packing, I did bring back some shirts that said, Coral, what's the name of that? What's the name of that town? Did bring back some shirts with Florida on them, with Cape Coral on it, and some of the ones from where my other granddaughter lives, across the way there, where all the old people retire to Florida too. I can't think of the name of that right now. I'm having one of those blank moments, but I found my favorite shirt when I was looking for when I was packing. Samos, Greece, one of my most favorite places I've ever been. I love Samos. It was such a beautiful island. It's one you don't hear about that much. It's not one of the real fancy ones, but it was nice. It wasn't not fancy. It was nice. Now that I've pulled everything out of whack here. So, this next question is, like I said, Madison Clatterhorn. Let's get his energy on here and see where it's going to. Madison Clatterhorn. Michael Woods wants to know. And I want to know. Are they going to let you run for re-election again? And where are you running for re-election? Did I write that down? I don't remember which state he's in. I'm sure that Michael Woods wrote that, but I was in a hurry when I was writing my questions down. But I heard about this. So anyway, is he gonna get to run for re-election? Let's see what his energy's like. Because I think they've already got something out trying to block him, so that might already be in the court system or something. So Madison Clatterhorn. Oh, he thinks he's all smug and rich and don't have to worry about nothing. That's what's going on in his head right now. Still not paying too much attention. But the world's watching him. He's going to get brought up in this stuff. He's going to get more exposure than he thinks he is when this comes out. That's the influence over him. The foundation is, he's going to get a lot of money sent to him by all these people that just love to see people try to commit treason. I just can't, I don't know. I can't even comprehend it, but he's getting a lot of money sent to his, put in his coffers. He's really foolish because he thinks he's got this covered. He thinks everything's covered. I don't think he realizes what a mess some of his friends are in. He's really nostalgic or what he thinks it used to be. I'm trying to remember this guy. I don't even think he's old enough to really know what it used to be like I do, because he wouldn't. Nobody would want to go back to the past if they really knew what it was like. Um, got the Queen of Cups here. He might get to run for this, or he may not. This may be somebody in power that's really starts going over his records and stuff with a fine-tooth comb in the near future. Somebody might just put a lid on him and keep him from going. Boy, this man is surrounded by money. We got the 9 of coins. We got the 10 of pentacles, the 9 of pentacles. You know, they're already investigating his money. Are the money going into his campaign, or I don't know, they're getting ready to put a freeze on it. Something's going on with it. Somebody big and powerful has got their eye on it. And I love this. He is afraid of having to walk away. He's afraid of not being able to do this. The lights are in my eyes over there. But he's afraid of not being able to do it. And he's could just have to walk away. Just take all his bullshit and BS and get out of there. And let's see the outcome. Well, we know he's not taking the high road or going to higher ground. So is he fighting for his position? Is that what he's doing? Does he end up having to fight? But he gets cut off. So it looks like he may not be able to run. Look at this. I was looking for a major arcana, and usually the only major arcana I've got the Fool and the World. So his whole world's changing. So let's go back. Sometimes it's better when I go back through him. He thinks he's setting smug, but his whole world's getting ready to change and come down on him. Because there's way too much money being spent in the wrong places. Money coming in from the wrong places. And if he thinks that nobody's got an eye on him, he's being really foolish. He's trying to push this back to the 50s bullshit. But somebody's going to be inspecting what's going on and where all this money's coming from. And there's the people around this are high up in the government, so he's being investigated. He's already been investigated. And it looks like he's definitely walking away from this, saying he's taking the high road, but it's because he's really cut off. So the question was, if he was going to get where he couldn't run. I wouldn't be surprised if he can't run at all from these cards, that they block him off some way, that they go ahead and there's a law against what he did and being able to run, and I think they may get it to work for him, whatever state he's in or who's trying to do this. He might be in a lot more trouble than he thinks he's in from these cards. So, next we got one here from that was from Michael Woods, that one was. The next one is from a Valerie B. If I could just read my own any repercussions on the people that got rich during the pandemic. I can't, and if rent prices are going to level off or go down or do something. I know people are hurting out there. I know my rent always goes up where I stay here, and was supposed to be kind of rent controlled, but it doesn't seem controlled to me. I had a rental for years and never raised the rent, and mine raises every year. and quite a bit too. So, so is this any repercussion for the people that got rich during the pandemic? For price gouging. I know that's another word for what this for this word here that I wrote that I can't read. and and if rent prices are going to go down. So I'm just going to do two lines and see if any repercussions for the people that were price gouging. And of course, that could be a lot of people. I mean, even old Ivanka's husband, wanted to call him Jeremy, but that's not his name. I can't even think of his name anymore. It's probably because on some level I'd like to forget I ever laid eyes on him. But he was even gouging people for prices for masks and sending them some overseas and everything else. So if none of those people ever get in trouble, we're screwed already. So, but let's see. So we'll do one line for repercussions on the people that were gouging people and during the pandemic, and then the one right underneath it to see if rent is going to level out any at all. Got to, or everybody's going to be out in the street. Jared. I kept wanting to call him Jeremy. Well, this is the past. Way past. That was like a little rise. In the present, they've got people so worried that they're going to be out on the street that they're nervous wrecks. Look at this. We got the coffin card for the president on this. This is the rent. This is the gouging people. That's right. We're going to do gouging people first. First, they just started gouging people a little bit, and then they gouged people so much that it got a lot of people killed. That's what this is. Because they didn't have sufficient equipment, efficient mask, or anything in the hospitals. But are they going to get in trouble for it? They're all talking a good game right now. They're all going to be pointing their finger at somebody else. They're all going to be saying, I didn't do that. I was trying to blah, 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 blah. Let's see. I don't know if they'll be going to jail or getting any big trouble, but I think they're going to be exposed enough where they're going to have to go downstream. They're going to have to get out of politics. It's either downstream or up the river. Now this is some of the people in the White House, so it looks like they're not going to be able to. When all this stuff gets exposed, that's just part of the stuff that's going to keep them from getting back in. But as far as the smaller people, I don't know by looking at these cards. I really can't tell you. They're not worried about it, but got a lot of people killed putting out faulty stuff, or even for hospitals, and not having the stuff because they were selling it off. Profiteering. That's what I was trying to think of what that was called. That's what I couldn't figure out what I wrote there. The ones that made profit on this stuff. And Jared was right in the middle of that. Of course, Trump and all of them too, but that's as high up as it goes, but it went on and on and on down to the lower peoples. But it looks like that's definitely, we don't have to worry about them getting back into power because of that. So maybe it pays off a little bit. And the other one was rent prices. Are they going to go down? I'm going to cut these cards again and go and see if I can get into some other energy. I'm even going to shuffle in a minute. Was the rent prices? Rent. Is it going to go down any? Is it going to level off? Is it going to just keep going ridiculous? Well, here's the government. The reason they didn't do this before is they didn't realize that it'd be so easy to get away with it. But it looks like maybe Some people might be going to jail for it. There's some talk about it in the higher. There is some research going on about it. Uh, this is about the rents. Unless this is still about the profiteering. I have a feeling that these cards didn't switch over. I need to put them all back in there to switch. So I think this is still about the profiteering. I think the government is looking into it. Some people are afraid they're going to go to jail in the present if it gets brought to the surface, and they're not sure it's not going to. And the challenges, if it does, they're really, really, really going to show how evil these assholes were and how many people probably died that didn't have to. But it looks like they don't get exposed. It looks like there's some kind of deal made. Maybe they have to pay some restitution. And this is still on the people. These are not the cards for rent right here. I'm going to have to push these back in and do it over again. Do the whole thing for just that. But it looks like there might be some of the money paid back, some kind of deal made. It's not like these guys are going to go to jail, but they may have to pay some of the money back because there's some kind of a deal made on this because they are in trouble. Some of them may go to jail, some exposed. Maybe even shamed so bad that they have to do something for charity. I don't know, but I do think there's going to be more coming out about this. This is not a done deal. And then there was a Mark Dillon. And I can kind of answer this just from stuff I've heard on the media and from stuff I literally heard on the news. But he wanted to know that Florida was 35% Republican, 37% Democratic, and then 28%, that wasn't affiliated with any party. So why the Republicans keep taking Florida? He wanted to know if they were really that, that crooked down there. Part of it's the way they got the district set up. It always shows that they can get 2/3 of the votes to the Democrats and still not get much power, only get a few seats, and the Republicans get more because of the way this redistricting set up. So that's the answer to part of that. And the other part of that, and it's going to be worse this year because what they're doing, there's a lot of old retired people in Florida, and I seen them even interviewing one guy. And I don't know if that was on the local news down there or if it was on YouTube or whatever, but they came to like where he lived, which was like low-income housing. Older people didn't speak the greatest English, but they were citizens, and they voted. And they told them they had to get re-registered to vote. This is in Florida. And they did this all over there because their people were already getting their deals for the election that's coming up. And they were getting... So what they were doing is they were saying they just needed to sign these sheets to re-register. They were telling them they needed to re-register. So they were signing these sheets to re-register. And then they were taking the sheets, telling them they didn't have to fill anything else out, and they were checking the box Republican. Even if these guys had voted Democrat all their life, they never mentioned that part of it to it. They just said if they wanted to get to vote in the next election, they had to re-register and they had to sign these forms. And then they were marking the boxes when they checked into it because everybody started getting their stuff, and it was all for... they were getting stuff from the Republican Party instead of the Democratic Party, which left some of the people off, and I don't know, it changes things around a little bit. But it doesn't keep them from voting in the main election, but on the one in front of that, they get people that's only got Republican names on them and stuff. Except anyway, I don't know exactly how it's set up, but anyway, so that's what they're doing all over Florida. They even caught some of these people that were going out to these places and doing that. Now, whether they get in any trouble, I doubt very much. But that's what's going on there. So, but what was the whole question? Let me see. Well, he just asked how how can the Republicans always win in their election? We'll see how dirty Florida is. Wanted to know if it's because they were that crooked, and we know they are. Look what they did for Bush. Well, I got the strength card. A lot of people losing sleep over this. There's a lot of women. There's a lot of women working on this. A lot of people going out and re-registering people, checking them, going to. They're really working in the state of Florida, working hard. The women are. Uh, and the Democrats are doing a better job there than usual right now. So we might be surprised at some of the votes the way they go. Here's the Republican card. The past influence on this is they're running around trying to re-sign everybody up for this new election. It looks like there's going to be an investigation of this. They are going to look into it. I don't think it'll be a very deep one with DeSantis in charge of that. He seems to be in charge of everything there. But this is the Democrats. Maybe they're gonna start talking about this. They need to push this stuff out there and let people know what's going on. But this is the Democrats, and this is the plan being exposed. They did have a plan to get more people. Well, they know that they're getting people off the voter rolls by the day. And the energy behind that is not good energy. It's not honest energy. I don't know why people are so afraid. This is in the hopes and fears. They're just terrified of any change when the whole world is changing so quick. There's some things that need to be changed. But it looks like Florida's had money and propaganda coming in for overseas for the whole. Of course, the whole United States has, but it looks like Florida's had more than others. Maybe because it's such a big state. I don't know, people, if that was really a question. It was just, are they really crooked? Yeah, there's feminine strength coming in. It's going to make them have to worry. They're going to have to cheat harder to win, but they do have a plan to cheat. And have to get a lot closer to the election to see if it might possibly go blue in some areas. I can't believe that it's not all blue. So let's see what's coming up next. If you're still there. Well, this is kind of going back to Ivanka. I'm going to scoot ahead here. This is from a Henry Schumer. Hi, Henry. My buddy. He wanted to know if this Trump project, remember that big hotel in Azerbaijan that they built and spent all this money on and then never even opened it? But I know everybody that's really into anything to do with politics has seen pictures of the building. There was a lot of money spent, a lot of propaganda, a lot of something that went into there. Uh, he wanted to know, most of the money was supposed to have come from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, Iranian Revolutionary Guard, is that what it's called? Um, I think he was wanting nobody that was going to be revealed. That's one of Ivanka's projects too. She was knee deep in that. So the best way to probably answer that is to bring in her energy and see if that was going to get. Just ask about her and that Trump project and Albert as it's too late in the day for me. Azerbaijan. You know what I'm talking about. Uh, if any of that stuff's going to come out, and that's going to be more lawsuits against them. If that money's going to get found out, that got channeled in there to the Trump Foundation, that Azerbaijan, if that's going to come out. So let's see. So, God, that light is bright. It's just driving me crazy in my eyes, but I don't want to turn it off and sit here in the dark. Maybe I can turn it down another notch and see if it goes down. I will just have me in the dark before it's through, I'm sure. But so let's see, Henry, if Ivanka or any of them or the Trump, just the Trump Foundation, are they going to get pulled into that? Are they going to get in trouble for it? You're asking if they're going to get in trouble for this, for bringing that money in from the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard, I think is what it was. It is traceable. Looky here. They're still trying to do some cover up or something on it. I figured right now that's so far and behind that she'd be covering up for the money they took from the inauguration. Probably went all from the same place anyway, truth be known. Well, here she is. She's been trying to keep a lid on it. That's her intention. There is a trail. There's the trail. And it's not that wouldn't be that high if the FBI wanted to look into it. It wouldn't be that hard to find. They haven't decided on whether to go in and check it out. They've got so many other stuff on their mind. I don't think they're even, and that's been a few years back. In fact, that's probably been enough years back. I don't know, because it's out of the country and the money really came from there. It probably maybe wouldn't have a, what do you call it when they only got so many years to prosecute? But they've thought about it. They're not doing it now. Um, the whole world's kind of thought about it, wondering if they're going to let them get away with it. Look at this. But you know what? The worm's turning, because this is the wheel of fortune, and the worm's turning. So this could be just another thing lumped on top of them, or maybe if it's not even brought into the open and fought out, it could be something they have to make a deal for to stay out of more trouble than they're already in. Because here's the law after them. This is like the head guy in law enforcement coming down on them for the theft. God, this is pretty. And the world knows it. They've heard that's been on the news so many times. The world knows how much money that got filtered through there. They just don't want anybody to ever know how much money went through there. That would be brought to the surface definitely in a hurry if everybody knew how much money was going through there. And then I hope that camera's going. I never even thought to check it. Um, Somebody might end up going up the river, down the river, up the river. They're sending him up the river to jail. That might be used as leverage. Even if we don't hear about it, it might be used as some kind of leverage when they go looking through this money that the Trumps have. So I would say it's being used by somebody in high authority who might be part of the things that just take them down. So I thought that was so long ago that everybody had forgot about it, but I guess maybe they haven't gone past the limitations on it because maybe it's something to do with the foreign government or something. Uh, Ivanka's been trying to put a lid on it for a long time because that was her project. There's still some money seeping, moving around somewhere about that. Right now, they're not sure exactly how they want to treat it, but they know it happened. But the worm's getting ready to turn on all the Trumps and everybody in there, so that might be in some of those indictments and stuff. There's so much. God, talk about a major crook family, but we all knew that. That was what was driving everybody crazy. It was so obvious, and they were just getting away with it. But here's like the like even Merrick Garland, what the AG coming in, and about all the theft they did, and the whole world knows it. It's all worldwide. They thought they'd never have to worry about anything like this, but they might end up getting sent to jail for it. So that's part of the deal. Anyway, I don't know what they offer to get themselves out of all this, but part of the stuff that might end up keeping Trump out of jail. And so that's what I think's going on there. So anyway, yep, I don't think it is forgotten, Henry. It looks like it's not forgotten. When you asked that question, I thought, oh, that's so back, so far, and so deep that it's probably not going to get involved in all this. But I wouldn't be surprised by these cards to see it come out. I'd be a bit surprised. Oh, this one's so cute. And I thought about this too. It's funny because this came into my mind too. Probably all y'all's minds too out there. Is this question here. I thought it was so cute. And maybe we'll end on that. And I'll save some of these. I wrote more down, but I don't know if I can do. Well, I'll keep going here. Maybe I'll split it up into two different videos because it'll take me forever to put this up if it's much longer. So let me answer this one, and then maybe we'll turn that off and turn it back on and do another one. But this one's so funny. It's not funny because I wouldn't put nothing past them when they're chewing up paper and talking about the toilets not flushing good for the whole time they're in the White House because they're trying to flush all their records down the toilets. I mean, that's ridiculous. But we knew it was going on. We'd already heard that he had ate paper, and we'd already heard that, that he'd been known to flush stuff down the toilet. It's just weird when you think of somebody in the, just being so sure they can get away with all that shit and never get found out. And think of all the documents they destroyed probably and stuff that should have not been destroyed. So let's see. My eye did get better when I turned that light down last time. I've got one side of these glasses. The other pair that are sunglasses just like this I'm going to take back because it's going to have to be redone. So so this question's by can't read my own writing. Is it Luann? I think it's Luann Candy. Kennedy. Leanne Kennedy or Kennedy. It's Canady. But and that's she was wondering if there might have been any of the art swapped out in the White House. And I know that sounds silly, but I did think about it too. And then I thought, no, don't go there. But then when she asked it too, let's see what comes up with the cards. Not like he literally stolen, but just swapped out for forgeries. I figured, I thought about that right after he left the White House, but I thought, oh yeah, that's the first thing they're going to check. They're going to check that out. But you know, I think we all assume that our government's going to do crap they should do that they don't do. So I don't know if it's been checked out or not. But did she want to know if they checked it out or did he? And she just, I don't remember what the exact question was, but she wanted to know if any of the art had been swapped out. So let's see. I don't know if it would show up in there or not, but let's see what it says. Oh, lordy, lordy. Lordy, 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 lordy. That is so funny. Okay. It's not funny, but I mean, it's funny that that nobody should even have to worry about anything like that. And yet I wouldn't put nothing past none of them. Maybe people watch too many movies about that kind of stuff, but that kind of stuff goes on all the time. So we start out with Biden. So I would say it was checked. Checked right away. That's the signifier. And maybe found that it wasn't because this is a winner. The influence and obstacle over this. It was a winning ideal. It was smart to check it. It wasn't that stupid. So sometimes this is Archangel Michael, and sometimes it's just somebody cutting stuff off. Maybe they need to go back and check again. Got the Ace of Cups. This is for fun and entertainment only, people. Well, we got the Ace of Cups. Is what you're saying. Maybe I'm right. Maybe it's something they're least expecting. Smoke and mirrors. They need to go check the storeroom. Some of the stuff he switched out right away that they thought he didn't like, that would be the stuff that would have been messed with, the stuff that wasn't being displayed. Because we got the smoke and mirrors card. Look at this, people. Something's coming out about this. Wasn't only in my mind and Luann's mind, it was in other people's minds too. Something's coming out about that. Secrets. Look at this. I am really surprised. So maybe they're still checking stuff. Who knows? They've had a year. It seems. Of course, they've had a lot of time to do a lot of other stuff they haven't done. I hope Biden has it all checked so it don't get blamed back on him. If there is some forgeries, they're really good ones. don't usually do anything right. So here's a slow moving night. So it's just something I would say they're still checking it out. There's so much stuff there and so much stuff in the storerooms underneath and everything. But whatever's going on, it looks like it comes out all right. Or maybe it's even traced to somebody that's not even like some of his crook friends that run around with his kids or something. It may even be something that Trump himself didn't know about. Because the more I hear about these guys, they are a major crime family. So I don't know. I don't know, but it looks like Biden did have it checked. They just thought everything was okay, but I have a feeling they just checked the art that was left that was really visible. But they need to look deeper, and that shows you how they need to look deeper. Um, because here's the baffle 'em with bullshit card. And that means that it probably wouldn't be anything that he had hanging on the walls unless it was, I don't know, that White House got a lot of stuff in it. But I don't think everything's been checked really good yet. But it looks like there might be some news coming out about this. I don't think we're the only two people that thought about this. And some secrets coming out. Even, at least there was a plan. They thought maybe they could get away with some of this stuff and make some money. But for some reason, I don't think they did. I don't know. I just don't think they did. But it wasn't that they didn't think about it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But if there was ever a plan to check this stuff out, we're going to find out about it. Whether they took anything or not, it's going to come to the surface. Don't be surprised if it comes to the surface. So that was fun. That was a fun one because it wasn't anything so serious, trying to take my mind off everything going on in the world. I came home from that trip, and I even went to bed at 12:30 California time and got up at 7:30 California time after being up for almost 24 hours the day before. But ever since then, I get up and do a few things and sit down to watch TV a minute, and I keep falling asleep. But today I was better. But today I slept in. And I mean, when I slept in, I mean, I'm talking about till 11 o'clock. Of course, I didn't go to sleep till 3, but still, I didn't get up till 11:30. Nobody should tell on themselves about being that lazy, but I was. And I got caught because my daughter came over and brought me something. Was ringing my doorbell right after I got up, so might as well. Let's see what else we got on here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other questions. So I think I'm going to turn that off and turn it back on and maybe do 2 videos because I'll never get this up to be so long. Or maybe I'll come back tomorrow and do another one. Give me something to look forward to. I bet you it's too late for me to go to the gym. No, I could go right now while I'm transferring this. So I think I'm going to go to the gym instead. Anyway, I love you all. And if anybody wants a private reading with me on the phone, email me at lintarotreadings@gmail.com. And put your phone number in there and I'll get back with you. And I got all my email cleaned out so I cannot miss it. If anybody's been trying to get a hold of me. And then I had a couple of people that I read for. And one of them, Cindy, and that was telling me that they were going to get a hold of me. I'm really looking for something to do, so get a hold of me. I'm ready to do some readings. And God bless you all. Thank you for watching. And just think good things. Try to send out good energy with all this chaos going on in the world. And just visualize a beautiful world. I mean, thoughts are prayers, and just visualize everything turning out okay. So I love you all, and good night. Namaste.